It's time now for the best high school sports action from the WBCB Sports Network. Catch the best games from Bucks and Mercer County at WBCBSports.com and our Facebook page. Your home for high school sports is right here at WBCB 1490.
To Morrisville High School, the home of the Bulldogs, as we get you ready for high school basketball tonight on the WBCB Sports Network. Tonight's game made possible by the Revere Restaurant, thanks to St. Mary Medical Center, BCWSA, East Coast Printing, Finney McGee's Pub, the Trentonian, and this is the Trentonian pregame show. Great rivalry action as the Bulldogs host the Bristol Warriors, thanks to the Morrisville Basketball Parents Club. And thank you for being with us tonight. Gus Barber alongside, doing the video engineering and helping to call the action, along with Makai Gundy behind the camera for us tonight. And guys, a great rivalry matchup between these two schools. Morrisville coming in with a 2-2 record. Bristol at 4-1. They are playing very, very well, but it's great to be here tonight with you and to have this great matchup between these two schools that go at it once again.
Yeah, used to going up these schools for football, you know, the Thanksgiving games, used to those games with teams too, but finally get to see a different sport here as we are on the hardwood, Morrisville versus Bristol in the gymnasium. It should be a fun one tonight.
No question about it, Gus. Absolutely. And Makai, was a great start for Morrisville. They got 2 straight wins over Calvary Christian and Girard College, but then they played a couple of really good teams, and they're looking to bounce back tonight against Bristol. Meanwhile, for the Warriors, they start with a loss against Council Rock North, and then they rip off 4 straight wins. So they're riding a little bit of momentum, and we'll see which plays out. Is it the team riding that momentum, or is it going to be the team who has the the need to get back into the win column and to turn things around, get back with a W?
Yeah, and obviously for Bristol, you're more excited to get to your 5-game winning streak. You got the 4, you want to get to a 5. That's going to be a big milestone for this Morrisville team. You're looking to stop that while the buck is here. You know, you don't want them to get even more excited about themselves, to get their confidence going. So you're trying to, derail them a little bit if you're Morrisville.
Bristol has had the edge in this matchup, Makai. Last time the Bulldogs got a win was back on January 3rd of 2020, and the last time these two teams met, Gus, was January 3rd of last year. Bristol getting the win 63-45, and they had a good season last year, 16-10 for Bristol. But this Morrisville team, they come in with youth and enthusiasm, and that, I think has given Coach Skip Mason a little bit of confidence in this bunch.
Yeah, we've seen a bunch of teams so far on our WBCB Sports coverage in basketball have younger teams, and you've seen a lot of those teams be very successful. You worry about these younger players coming in, the inexperience and just maybe not full maturity of their bodies in high school to be able to be that successful. But we've seen a lot of teams, go that younger route and find a lot of success, and this is a Morrisville team that is looking to try to find that same script here.
And, as Makai was saying just a bit ago, Gus, Bristol wants to get that 5th win in a row, and win number 4 did not come easy. Calvary Christian took them to overtime. In the overtime session, Bristol got the better of it, and they had a 50-42 win when it was all said and done. But they did need overtime to get that done, and I think both these teams have had a couple occasions where they've been able to learn, come together as a team, and win even during a game where they were challenged and maybe didn't play the perfect game. And certainly last time Bristol played against Calvary Christian, ended up being a tough one for them.
Yeah, a tough one indeed. It's going to be hard trying to keep these streaks going. Like we saw in the NBA, I don't know if you guys watched that game, but the OKC and the San Antonio Spurs, OKC was off to a 16-game win streak, and that was, a hard feat as much as they have. So Bristol, not saying that they know how to chip off 16 wins off themselves, but just getting a streak, getting to this 5-game winning streak, that's gonna be hard in itself. You just gotta take it one game at a time.
Yeah, let's take a look at the starters for both of these teams, guys. For Morrisville tonight, Skip Mason going with Merrick Johnson, the 5'10 junior, with Isaiah Caraway, another 5'10 junior. Both of those guys captains for this team, along with Alex Brown, a 6-foot senior captain. And rounding out the starting five, you have Lamar Brockington, a 6'1 freshman out there, with Josiah Morgan, a 6'3 freshman. So, yeah, youth movement for the Morrisville Bulldogs. That's their starting five for Coach Mason: Johnson, Caraway, Brown, Brockington, and Morgan. And for the Bristol Warriors, led by head coach Anthony Gencarelli in his third year, and he worked for 5 years here for Bristol under Coach Devine. He's going to be going with Braylon Williams, Khalil Cottrell, Uriah Johnson, Talon Nemeth, the 5'10 senior who's recently back off of injury, and the 6'8 senior, big guy in the middle, Christian Manning, and he's averaging 16 and 12. So a double-double machine so far this season with some size inside for Bristol. So again, Coach Gencarelli going with Williams, Cottrell, Johnson, Nemeth, and Manning. All right, about to get this one underway. Delighted to be here tonight. A little pre-holiday high school hoops action on WBCB. All right, so thanks to all of our community sponsors, all the partners making tonight's game possible, as we got the starters now coming out. And first for the Warriors, Braylon Williams. A lot of familiar names on both of these teams because these basketball players were also some of the stars on the football field for these two schools.
I was going to say, looking at the rosters, I was saying to you, I think some of these names are familiar. And you're saying a lot of these guys, on the gridiron here, as well as the hardwood, stars for their schools.
Yeah, Braylon Williams was the running back for the Warriors on the football field. Khalil Cottrell, their lead wide receiver. And they're joined by Uriah Johnson, Talon Nemeth, who was another wideout for Bristol and was one of their kickers, and Christian Manning. Again, he was their kicker throughout the season, and they're happy to have him back from injury. Here's your starters for the Morrisville Bulldogs. Again, some familiar names there. Merrick Johnson, the 5'10 junior, was the QB for the Bulldog football team. Isaiah Caraway and Shakur Dismukes, who is going to be their first sub in tonight. Their sixth man off the bench. Both of those guys, big parts of Bulldog football. All right, so before we get this one underway, we will step aside and return for tonight's game on WBCB. Morrisville hosting Bristol. High school basketball coming up in just a moment.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more. Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township. Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to
Trentonian
traditional
pregame
Italian
show
cuisine.
as we are set to start tonight's action. Morrisville hosting Bristol High School basketball on the WBCB Sports Network. Chris Ermer, Gus Barber, Makai Gundy with you. And yeah, we looked at the starters. Skip Mason leading Morrisville, and Bristol led by head coach Anthony Gencarelli, who gets some coaching help from Travis Gale and Matt McGinty. And Skip Mason really lifting up his assistants. He gets some coaching assistance from Jonah Moore, their JV coach, John Mason, assistant head coach, John Elzey, one of the assistant coaches, as we are underway. And the Bulldogs win the tap over to Isaiah Caraway. One thing that Coach Mason was talking about was that Isaiah, kind of the straw that stirs the drink. Nice entry pass as Johnson drops it down low to Josiah Morgan, and the 6'3" freshman with the first bucket of the night.
And you're already seeing Morrisville go against this Bristol defense. That's, like you said, running a 1-3-1 defense most of the night and already finding success against that zone.
Nice entry to the big man, and Christian Manning going to be a tough assignment tonight.
He's got some size to him, and he's showing it off early down low.
So two quick connections, and we're all even at 2-2. Morgan double teamed, throws it up top to Johnson around the perimeter. Caraway traveled. So a turnover as Morrisville gives it up to the Warriors. Again, Bristol with a 4-1 start to the season, lost to Council Rock North before ripping off 4 straight wins. They come off an overtime victory to Calvary Christian. And bringing the ball up is Khalil Cottrell. Drops it off there to Williams. Williams driving and takes contact, gets the whistle, and a trip to the line for the 5'11" senior.
Both these teams, I see defensively, they're playing high up-tempo defense, getting in the grill of their opposing player.
Yeah, I think both teams are going to be mixing it up, playing some zone, playing some man. Coach Mason was telling me that they play kind of a man defense where they do some switching up top. 1 for 2 at the line for Williams, but he chases down his own miss. Offensive rebound, works the baseline, and he'll get to the line again. Bucket, no, but Williams will step to the stripe and see what he can do from there. First time up, he went 1 for 2. Yeah, the Warriors kind of senior heavy, and they bring quite a bit of experience into this season. Had a 16-10 year last year. And maybe some of the residue from the success on the football field may carry over as Warriors with another district championship. And Braylon Williams, a big part of that, connects at the line to make it 5-2. Johnson trapped, loses it momentarily, picked up by Caraway at the elbow, tries to bounce it down low, and it's bounced off of Brockington and out of bounds.
Yeah, it looked like he had the positioning down low, just couldn't handle the bounce pass.
Well, Coach Mason was saying that he feels like if his team keeps their composure and they can keep their cool, they're going to be all right tonight. But right now, Bristol, they're facing some pressure, and a steal for the Bulldogs. Quickly up the floor to Caraway. Drops it to his teammate, and Uriah Johnson with a little spin move underneath the bucket gets the whistle, and he'll step to the free throw line for 2. Oh man, gotta get myself situated here. This is Alex Brown at the line for the Bulldogs, pardon me. Again, tonight's game brought to you by some of our community partners, including Finney McGee's Pub, the friendliest place in Bristol at 1400 Farragut Avenue. Jim quiets down for Alex Brown. Unable to connect at the line, stays 5-2, quickly up the floor and out on the wing to Williams. Up top there to Khalil Cottrell. Cottrell crossover, drives, and is snuffed out. Great defense, Morrisville with the block. And as they race it down the floor, off the foot of Alex Brown. Morrisville needs to do a little better job of taking care of the rock and protecting the basketball here as Cottrell flips it across the floor to Nemeth. Nemeth kicks out, 3 on the way, yes. And knocking that one down is Uriah Johnson. His first bucket of the night makes it 8-2.
Bristol trying to assert their offensive dominance here early with an 8-2 lead, just trying to build on that.
Nice entry there as they get it to Morgan. Morgan with a post move, can't get the finish, gets the offensive rebound and then loses the handle and he drops it out of bounds.
Yeah, another costly Morrisville turnover here, but another self-inflicting turnover. Nobody really got a hand on that. It just mishandled it and went out of bounds.
Yeah, it was tough. He was in some heavy traffic, but maybe heard some of the footsteps around him. Williams with some nifty dribbling, picks it up, sends it up top. Uriah Johnson drives the left side of the lane and is tied up. And nice job defensively there by 6-foot senior Alex Brown. But for the Warriors, they got the arrow, so we'll stay down here. Nemeth entry to Johnson. Catch and shoot, no. And the Bulldogs clean up the glass. Up the floor to Caraway. Drops it down low. Now a kick out. 3 on the way. Alex Brown, not quite. In transition, here come the Warriors. Up the floor to Johnson. And a big block by Alex Brown. The senior says, no, sir. Caraway with some nifty footwork. Uses the body, gets the shot off, but comes up a little bit short. And now here comes Khalil Cottrell in transition. Drops it to Williams, no. But Christian Manning is there. Turns garbage into gold with a nice offensive rebound and put back. It's 10-2.
Yeah, that was a heck of a job by Manning right there, playing some great defense on one end and then getting the bucket and rebound on the other.
Johnson starts to dribble, picks it up at the elbow, pops the shot, gets the bounce. Big bucket there from the 5'10 junior Merrick Johnson. Bulldogs needed that. It's 10-4 and a timeout taken, a 30-second timeout with 4:15 to go in quarter number 1. High school hoops on WBCB. Great to be with you tonight. Big thanks to East Coast Printing 215, your go-to source for custom apparel and printing in the 215 area and beyond. East Coast Printing 215, they bring your ideas to life. Custom screen printing, direct to film printing, embroidery, and custom orders from t-shirts, hoodies, hats, bags, and much more if you can imagine it. East Coast Printing 215 will bring it to life. Whether you're outfitting a team, promoting your brand, or just creating something unique for yourself, East Coast Printing 215, they're in the Morrisville Shopping Center, your go-to source. Top quality work, very quick turnarounds. East Coast Printing in the Morrisville Shopping Center, open Monday through Friday, 10 to 8, and on Saturdays, open till 3. Great spot, maybe for some holiday things there. East Coast Printing 215.
Holiday season.
It is upon us. Nemeth racing it up the floor. Picks up the dribble along the baseline. Manning up top to Williams. Step back jumper off the front rim, no. And the Warriors win the possession. Up and under goes Khalil Cottrell. Reverse lay-in. His first points of the night make it 12-4.
Yeah, nice finish there for the layup, but an even better job on the defensive side to get that ball, to get a turnover by Morrisville, corral it yourself and go in.
Caraway tries to take it inside, loses the handle, but picking it up is Josiah Morgan, goes right up with the shot, gets a whistle and a trip to the line. That's what you want from your big man. You get the basketball at that spot. Take the advantage, use your quickness. And the 6'3 freshman misses on his first free throw. And so far tonight, in the early going, that's been plaguing the Bulldogs. Yeah, 0 for 4 thus far for Morrisville on their 2 trips to the line. Out on the wing there was Tommy Sheshka. 3 on the way from Williams. No, long rebound. And the ball knocked out of bounds, last touched by Bristol. So with 3:18 to go, first quarter. Bulldogs with it, trying to kind of even the scales here in the first quarter. Caraway directing traffic up top, bounces. Get it inside, nice look down low to Caraway. Gets the whistle, a trip to the line. Nice find from Alex Brown. And again, that's kind of what you want. You get a nice bounce pass like that, use your quickness, get up, get the shot off, and force the issue. And there's the first free throw made by the Bulldogs, makes it 12-5.
It's an interesting first quarter so far because the scoreboard would say one story of this game that you would think it'd be big lopsided game by Bristol so far, but it's felt pretty even, and Morrisville has had chances. It just feels like they haven't been able to finish on a lot of these chances, hit a lot of these free throws, where everything for Bristol right now feels like it's falling.
And maybe that'll start to turn things around right there. That trip to the line, Caraway goes 2 for 2. Makes it a 12-6 game. Williams walking it up the floor, hands off to Cottrell. Cottrell set the school record for receiving yardage this season on the football field, trying to bounce it in. Johnson looking for Manning, just couldn't handle the pass. And the Warriors with a turnover. Feels like a little momentum building with the Bulldogs. We'll see if they can capitalize on this possession. Nice find. Shakir Dismukes hitting Moy Oakman.
They look like they were in sync right there.
Yeah, they both come off the bench and connect for a big bucket. Moy Oakman with the basket. Dismukes with the assist. Kick out to Manning and shuffles the feet. Travels with it, so back-to-back turnovers now for the Warriors. Down to 2:16 remaining in the first quarter. Bouncing over to Dismukes. Manning with a big block. And are they going to count the bucket? That was close to a goaltend. No. Nice bounce pass from Gus the Bus.
Now that was a grade A pass right there. Bounce pass to the ref's chest. I synced that up perfectly.
Well, how about that grade A defense from Christian Manning?
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a possible goaltending. At least I thought it was going to be goaltending, but the referee said it was clean, so.
Cottrell working the baseline, lost the handle, and the Bulldogs take over. Another Warrior turnover. Kick out there to Johnson. Johnson working the baseline. Dismukes for 3. A little too much there. Underneath, Caraway. Trying to cut through the defense, can't connect on the shot. Cottrell in transition, gets it over to Christian Manning. Manning gets it knocked out of play by Alex Brown.
They say foul, but look like all ball.
Yeah, thought I might have heard a little bit of contact there.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, something down low, maybe body to body. That's might be what they call it.
Well, it does send Manning to the line. And Christian Manning connects on his first free throw of the night. 1:32 to go here in the first quarter. Great to have you with us on WBCB. 1 for 2 at the line for Manning. Quickly to work, Alex Brown. Rises up his runner, no good. Bulldogs keep it alive. Caraway, jump shot, got it. Isaiah Caraway makes it a 13-10 game.
Yeah, we saw Bristol go on that early run here in the first quarter. Now we're seeing Morrisville answer back with a run of themselves.
Cottrell with the dribble. Alex Brown takes him. Cottrell drives. No, his shot a little too strong, but Christian Manning there. Offensive rebound, and he banks it home.
Yeah, good defense, just even better offense. Getting that second chance and finishing.
Merrick Johnson splitting the defense. Dismukes crosses across the paint, and then a little bunny shot right there, makes it 15-12.
Yeah, hopped over a player's leg, kind of looked like, made sure not to trip, stay in bounds. Oh, that's
down low, Manning all alone, and flushes that one home, makes it 17-12.
Yeah, talking about how he didn't want to trip or slip on this end, and Morrisville player tripped and slipped on the other end.
Dismukes with the drive. Williams wins it for the Warriors, up the floor to Cottrell, too quick, and he banks it in, a layup for Khalil Cottrell. It's 19-12. And then the Bulldogs trying to get the last shot of the quarter, but they throw it away, and the first quarter comes to an end with the Bristol Warriors in front 19-12. High school hoops on WBCB. Great to have you with us on the WBCB Sports Network. Don't forget, if you miss any of tonight's action, read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian, or online at Trentonian.com, the only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian. Well, we are delighted to be with you tonight, and we got the holidays coming up. After the holidays, Santa going to be thinking of vacationing someplace warm. I might be thinking about going someplace warm too. If you own a pool, you should start thinking of getting it ready for the warm weather. And Mason Pool Services, they offer full service maintenance for your pool, in ground or above ground. Mason Pool Services, they offer weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly maintenance. Call 215-802-8285. That's 215-802-8285. Don't be left out in the cold this summer. Let Mason Pool Services take care of your pool. And by the way, happy holidays from Mason Pool Services and from all of us here at the WBCB Sports Network. Yeah, big thanks to Mason Pool Services, making portions of tonight's game possible as the Bulldogs with it first in the second quarter. Merrick Johnson picks up the dribble. They work against this Warrior zone. Johnson lets one fly and connects. Big bucket from the 5'10 junior, makes it 19-15. And that guy is always up to the moment, got ice water in his veins as a kick out up top to Cottrell, and good ball movement by the Warriors. Now they slow things down. Nemeth on a cut. Williams driving, no. Ball bouncing near the out of bounds line, and a foul called. And it goes against Braylon Williams. The 5'10 senior picks up his first. And the Bulldogs bounce it into Isaiah Caraway. Over to Johnson. They double team him. Throws it across to Caraway. Kick out. Caraway gets it back. And a little dancing in the paint. Took too many steps and is called for a travel. And in part kind of turned aside by the Bristol defense, forcing him to take a walk.
Yeah, thought about taking a shot, saw a lane, so wanted to go take the shot and then decided to dribble at the same time. Can't do that.
Wow, Khalil Cottrell, he saw a lane. He took the opportunity, didn't get the shot, but cleaning up the miss. Christian Manning with another bucket. The big man now with 12. Nice job underneath there to find Josiah Morgan.
Yeah, nice little dish off right there. Had nowhere to go, was able to find his big man.
Now Talon Nemeth walks it up the floor. Guarded here by Johnson. Spin moves, takes it down low. Double teamed, lost it. taken away by Josiah Morgan. Isaiah Caraway gives it to Morgan as he rolls to the cup and banks that one in. Big bucket there for the 6'3" freshman, makes it a 2-point game.
Sticking with it, was getting knocked around in there, was able to focus on getting the basket.
Yeah, playing with the big boys inside there. The freshman getting it done. Williams here starts to dribble, working against Caraway. Sends the shot up, kind of a wild one, and misses everything. It goes out of bounds. So with 5:32, the Bulldogs take over. And looks like we got a 30-second timeout on the floor. So we'll keep it right here, let you know tonight's game brought to you by the friendliest place in Bristol, Finney McGee's Pub, 1400 Farragut Avenue. They're open 7 days a week from 3 p.m. And Saturday and Sundays, they open up at noon. Their kitchen, they serve food late until 1 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. Yeah, you can go out on the weekend and still get something to eat, something good at Finney McGee's as late as 1 a.m. And Finney McGee's burger sandwiches available till 1 on Friday and Saturday. Some late night Munchables at Finney McGee's. Check out Finney McGee's Facebook page, daily specials, happy hour 3 to 7 Monday through Friday, domestic bottles $2.50. Finney McGee's Pub in Bristol, the friendliest place in Bristol, and we thank them for helping to make some high school hoops possible on WBCB. We're powered by Finney McGee's tonight. As we get back to it, 5.5 to go in the second quarter, and a long pass just beyond the reach there of Moy Oakman, and he came flying right towards our table. I thought
we were goners, Chris. I thought we were.
Fortunately, he was able to gain control before crashing into the control tower. Williams races it up for the Warriors. Over to Nemeth, and now Morrisville looks like they're kind of in a zone look here. Khalil Cottrell flips it to Williams. Williams looked like he had a path to take it to the bucket. Instead, drops it over to Manning. Manning's shot is blocked. And the Bulldogs take it away. Race it up the floor. Alex Brown ties us up at 21.
Looked like he fought through a little contact there. Maybe a foul could have been called, but nonetheless, fight through that, tie this ball game up. Mooresville going on a run.
Yeah, I'm with you. Give him one from the line. How about Manning from distance? A little bit short, but Williams is underneath for the offensive rebound, and he forces up a shot, gets his own miss to keep it alive. Manning again up top, in and out, and before the shot, travels. Traveling violation on Bristol comes with 4.5 remaining in the second quarter. Well, in the early going, looked like Bristol might run away with this thing, and the Bulldogs have gotten right back in it and even things up with Alex Brown's connection. Now down low, dribbling Lamar Brockington, and just kind of lost control. He bounced it off of his leg.
Yeah, but to what you're saying with Morrisville coming back in this one, it's just that rugged defense that both teams are playing. I feel like it's such a, high end and low end on both sides, where you might be able to find something rhythmly, and then on the other end, you just can't find nothing at all.
And it kind of also goes to what Coach Mason was saying before the game, that the team that runs, the team that plays the defense out there, going to have the edge tonight. Drive there by Uriah Johnson, kicks out to Manning around the perimeter now into the corner to Khalil Cottrell. Nemeth has it up top, poked away momentarily by Brown, keeps it, then over to Johnson, and Johnson trying to get around a defender is called for a travel. Yeah, Coach Mason, pardon me, he was saying that the team that kind of keeps its composure, or he felt like if his Bulldog team can keep their cool, as Nemeth with the steal and one. Trying to take the charge underneath, but Nemeth gets the call. Merrick Johnson was there. But the bucket is good for Talon Nemeth. Makes it 23-21, and he'll look to add one from the line. Talon Nemeth, 5'10 senior, recently back off of injury. And he completes the three-point play and gives the Warriors a three-point lead, 3:36 to go. Second quarter action on WBCB. A great rivalry matchup between these two schools. Kick out, high dribble, controlling it, getting the shot off there was Brockington, but it's one and done for the Bulldogs. Williams up the floor to Cottrell. Cottrell, we've seen it tonight. His athleticism sometimes right there has an opportunity, blows by two defenders. Shot comes up a little short, but gets a whistle. And another trip to the line for the Warriors tonight. First trip for Cottrell. I think the Bulldogs, their composure was tested in the early going, and they did keep their cool, allowed them to get back in this one, as now the Warriors pull away again. And Cottrell connects at the line. That's one of the advantage. Warriors have been better at the line tonight than the Bulldogs. Into the corner to Dismukes. Dismukes, couple of pump fakes, gets it inside to Morgan. Morgan called for an offensive foul, lowered the shoulder and banged into Uriah Johnson.
Hey, can't do that.
And that's been one of the keys tonight. The team that has avoided turnovers has been the one that's had the edge. And as you said, Makai, they got to credit the defensive intensity tonight for both of these schools. Khalil Cottrell, marked by Alex Brown. Bulldogs here in kind of a zone defense look, all packed inside. Christian Manning working against Dismukes, and Dismukes, going to get that whistle every time. He brought that hand down and fouls Manning. Foul on the floor. Warriors send it in to Manning. Manning just too big and got the hops right there. Makes it 28-21. Dismukes double teamed, in trouble. Does a good job to bang it off of Talon Nemeth and make sure it's Bulldog basketball.
Yeah, and since the Bulldogs tied this game to 21 a little while back, Bristol going on a 7-0 run.
Yeah, dozen tonight for Manning. They inbound, and Alex Brown in the paint, little spin move there. He gets a bump and a whistle. Trip to the line for Morrisville. Well, this is one area where they need to take advantage. Bangs that one off the back rim. Big thanks to East Coast Printing 215, go-to source for custom apparel and printing, and our community partners for tonight's game. East Coast Printing 215 in the Morrisville Shopping Center, open Monday through Friday, 10 to 8, Saturdays till 3. All your custom printing, embroidery needs. All right, there we go, 1 for 2. As Brown connects to make it a 6-point game. Pressure for the Bulldogs. Khalil Cottrell trying to throw it all the way length of the floor, goes through the hands of a defender, and Manning all alone for an easy bucket, makes it 30-22. Gives him 14 now. Cutting to the bucket, nice baseline pass by Moy Oakman. Gets cut off there. Khalil Cottrell up and under, tries to flip that one off the glass, no. Alex Brown races it up the floor for Morrisville. Now puts on the brakes over to Shakur. Dismukes back to Brown, fires away. No, and it's pulled down by Cottrell. Cottrell rises. Right hand layup is no good, but a whistle will send Khalil Cottrell back to the line here for Bristol. Yeah, happy holidays to everybody. Coach Mason was telling me about all of his assistant coaches and what a great family it is. And I said, oh, are you guys going to do a holiday party? And he said, no, but Santa Claus is coming to Morrisville on Saturday. As Cottrell at the line makes it 31-22.
Santa Claus. Hopefully they get good presents.
Coach
That cold.
Alex Brown there unable to connect. Caraway, though, picks it up, spin move, and gets another bucket to make it 31-24. So Bulldogs continue to stay within arm's reach. Cottrell crossover up top, tries to finish with the left. No. Bulldogs in transition. Yes. Christian Davis shows the speed, makes it 31-26. Kick out to Uriah Johnson. Johnson from distance, no. And picked up there by Davis. Davis bounces to Brown. Brown, contact, knocked to the floor, no whistle. Shot goes off the side of the backboard. Here come the Warriors. Nemeth races it, goes right up against Dismukes and gets the finish. And that'll bring us to halftime. The Warriors make it 33-26 as Talon Nemeth connects right near the buzzer. And we're at the break here tonight on WBCB. And great to have you with us, and looking forward to the holidays, all of the excitement. We'll have a doubleheader for you on Friday. We'll be up at Council Rock North as the Pennsbury girls and then the Pennsbury boys will both be in action, and we'll have both those games on WBCB. Right now, halftime, we'll step aside for just a little bit and return, take a look at first half scoring, get you ready for second half action here tonight from Morrisville.
Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more. 1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBSports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League Champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more. Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Oh, man, so great to be here tonight at Morrisville High School, the home of the Bulldogs, as we bring you high school basketball action on WBCB. Even the little ones getting involved.
I was going to say, we got a rogue baby.
Bristol with the lead 33-26 at halftime, and I'm talking about this Friday night game. Big action tomorrow on WBCB. I won't be there, so sometimes when I'm not there, I totally forget about it.
Oh.
On Friday.
How could you forget about
I'll be
this
at the
one?
doubleheader, but we got a great rivalry tonight, Bristol and Morrisville. Big rivalry game tomorrow, Mackay, Neshaminy, Pennsbury. Falcons travel to the Redskins for that one, and we'll have it on WBCB. So looking forward to that tomorrow night.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that one. You don't want any more, animosity in this game like the kind of ones that you're seeing in this one, with the game being so close and a lot of questionable foul calls not being called. So you're hoping for a good one like in this one, but you don't want to get too out of hand in the Neshaminy and Pennsbury game.
Yeah, it felt like there were some moments in the second quarter where the officials were really letting them play through some contact. And, the rivalry between Bristol and Morrisville renewed once again. And Morrisville got down early, but they continued to fight, and they trail by 7 at halftime. Leading the Bulldogs is Merrick Johnson it's Josiah Morgan with 6. Big man inside doing some damage, and Merrick Johnson with 5 points, 4 coming from Azir Caraway, and then you got 3 from Alex Brown, 2 from Shakur Dismukes, 2 from Moy Oakman, and 2 from Christian Davis. So those 3 guys connecting off the bench to help Morrisville stay in this one. For the Bristol Warriors, leading them, the 6'8 senior Christian Manning, 15 first-half points, and leads all scorers tonight. 5 points coming from Talon Nemeth, who connected on a bucket right towards the end of the second quarter. 7 points coming from Khalil Cottrell, and then you got 3 from Braylon Williams, who hit 3 free throws, and Uriah Johnson connecting on a three-pointer. Both of those guys contributing 3 points for the Warriors in the first half of play. First quarter, Morrisville only with 12 points, and then they picked it up a little bit more, had 14 in the second quarter. For Bristol, they started out 19 first quarter points, and then the Bulldogs cooled them down a little bit, only allowing 14 in the second quarter, and so an even second quarter between these two. And we are at the break here from Morrisville. Big thanks to all of our sponsors helping to power portions of tonight's game, including Finney McGee's Pub. Yeah, Finney McGee's, the friendliest place in Bristol at 1400 Farragut Avenue. Open 7 days a week from 3 p.m. and Saturday and Sundays from 12 noon. Their kitchen serves food late till 1 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, so you got the late night munchies. Finney McGee's has the kitchen open late for you. You can go out on the weekends and still get something great to eat at Finney McGee's. Their burgers, sandwiches, it's all available until 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Also, check out Finney McGee's Facebook page for daily specials. They have the happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 to 7 with domestic bottles $2.50. Visit Finney McGee's Pub in Bristol. Great food, great times, great people, heck, great support of local high school athletics and all your favorite sporting events at Finney McGee's, 1400 Farragut Avenue in Bristol. And they say good luck, Warriors, from your hometown pub, Finney McGee's. Don't forget you missed the action on BCB. Read about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. Outstanding local and national sports coverage that you can count on 7 days a week. It's all in the pages of the Trentonian. Yeah, we got Pennsbury Neshaminy on Tuesday and the girls-boys doubleheader on Friday. And then we hit the holiday break, which always is an opportunity and a challenge for high school basketball programs. An opportunity to come together, develop chemistry, but a challenge to make sure you keep everybody on the same page, everybody going, staying disciplined, and we'll see. Kind of a tale of two seasons.
Yeah, the holidays are coming up fast. They are creeping up.
Yes.
It's next week, isn't it? Less than 10 days?
Yeah, like Wednesday.
Yeah.
Coming up here. I think it might be on the 25th.
I think something's on the 25th. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so.
You got the calendar marked. Something's going on that day. Well, don't forget, again, you missed the action here on BCB. Read about it in the Trentonian. Back to action as the Warriors with it first in the third quarter. Chris Ermer, Gus Barber, Makai Gundy, great to have you with us. Warriors trying to hold on to this 7-point advantage, actually trying to add to it here. Taylor Nemeth takes it inside. Bangs into Johnson. No, Christian Manning there with the offensive rebound and putback. And he's got 17 now tonight. A one-man wrecking crew inside for the 6'8 senior. Going up there for it, Williams comes down with it to the floor. And I think they're going to call a tie-up. And it is Bulldog basketball. Just underway in the second quarter. And they'll bounce it to Azir Caraway, who's out there with Johnson, Morgan, Alex Brown, and Shakir Dismukes. There's Caraway with the right hand. Gets it to drop through. Gives him 6 points.
A good job by him to get a little separation there, but not get called for an offensive foul.
Williams with a path to the bucket. Good idea, doesn't get the finish. Alex Brown puts on the brakes. High off the glass, no. Morgan fighting for it. He and Johnson, and Morgan rips it away from Johnson. Johnson to the floor.
Who wants it more?
Yeah, now the Warriors with the arrow. So Nemeth will put it back in play. Great energy in the building tonight as the Morrisville Bulldogs hosting the Bristol Warriors. That time Khalil Cottrell turned on the Jets. I thought he just lost it, but it was poked away from him, so stays with Bristol. We'll stay down here with 6:39 to go, third quarter. Too hot on that inbound pass, trying to get it to Nemeth. goes off of him, out of bounds. So Bulldogs with a chance. Caraway directing traffic. Sends it out to the wing to Brown across the floor. Dismukes drives, makes an adjustment in midair, finishes with the left hand.
That's a heck of a job avoiding the big man right there, Manning.
And pulls the Bulldogs to within 5. They bounce to Manning and bounces it right back out to Johnson. Holds momentarily, another entry attempt. This one poked away by Josiah Morgan. Bulldogs racing it up the floor. Caraway goes underneath the bucket, and he'll come back out again, and they'll reset. Dismukes, hesitation drive. Left hand, yes. The Shark makes it a 3-point game. Shark right there smelling a little blood in the water. Now out on the wing, here's Talon Nemeth. Tries to send it up top, poked away, stolen by Caraway. Caraway with a drive and some contact underneath. He gets the whistle, a trip to the line, and a good job there. Uriah Johnson says you got to earn it at the line.
Yeah, and this Morrisville team looking like a team on a mission in this second half coming out of halftime. Obviously, you got to think that they were talk some things through, change some things up here for the second half, but man, they have been hot on the offensive side.
Yeah, and all of a sudden they've had these past few sequences.
Yeah, having trouble though at the free throw line.
Yeah, it's been an issue tonight. And against a good Bristol team, a team that has had the better in this matchup. You got to make sure to take every advantage you can. 1 for 2 at the line goes Caraway and makes it a 2-point game. It was a 7-point advantage for Bristol at halftime. Khalil Cottrell at the elbow, no. Manning, offensive rebound, puts it right back up, takes contact and gets the whistle, and another trip to the stripe for the big man.
Yeah, there's an easy offensive rebound by him right there. Just falls right into his hands and tries to put that thing back in, but gets slapped on the way up.
A nice confident stroke there from Manning. Makes it a 36-33 game. Again, don't forget you missed the action on BCB. Read about it in the Trentonian, 2 for 2. Yeah, it looked like he was feeling it that time. Feeling a little more confidence. Alex Brown splits defenders, kicks out, Dismukes, 3 on the way, bang. Big time stuff from Shakir Dismukes.
Yeah, he saw the big man right there, contested it, did not matter to him, still pulled in, was able to make it.
Dismukes is dumb man right now.
Makes the bucket and makes it a 1-point game, and then Talon Nemeth dribbling around, and Coach Gencarelli says, hold on, let's take a timeout, talk things over with 4:39 to go in the third quarter. And we'll also step aside, return here to Morrisville High School for more high school basketball on WBCB.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
So we got a good one going, 37-36, 4:39 to go, third quarter. Saw Morrisville earlier this season. They played a scrimmage, kind of a round-robin scrimmage with Pennsbury, William Tennant, and Morrisville, and they all played 3 quarters against each different team. And in that matchup, you know, Morrisville, a smaller school up against 6A schools, really showed a lot of heart and competed. There's Talon Nemeth on a drive. No, but contact. And Alex Brown. No, I'm sorry, that's Josiah Morgan who's called for the foul. Brown was right there.
There's about 4 Bulldogs right there.
And the foul sends Talon Nemeth to the free throw line. Into the game for the Bulldogs comes 6'1" freshman Lamar Brockington. Nemeth can't connect. Brockington out there with Dismukes, Brown, Johnson, who gets the bounce pass. There's Brown, dribbles to the elbow. Up with the jump shot, no, and Manning. I mean, he's got to be in double digits for rebounds already tonight. Khalil Cottrell driving a little too strong, and it's going to go off of the Bulldogs, out of bounds.
Oh, I thought I was going to get another opportunity, show off that beautiful bounce pass on mine, but coach over here decided to get it.
Yeah, Coach Jen Corelli making the play.
He doesn't want me to, show up any of his players with that beautiful pass.
Midway through the third quarter, the entry deflected all the way to the backcourt and out of bounds. It was last off of Brown, so stays with Bristol.
Yeah, if he would have seen you make that pass again, I'm sure he would have had to give you a spot on the team.
He would have to call somebody to give me a 10-day.
Yeah.
Khalil Cottrell hands off to Nemeth. Man D here for the Bulldogs. Nemeth gives it back to Cottrell. They clear out for Manning. Manning with the mismatch. They double team him, poked away by Dismukes. And a good job, active hands there by Morrisville. Knock it out of bounds. Yeah, knock it away from Manning before he was going to get that post action going.
And knocking it away without fouling, too.
Into Nemeth. Nemeth, corner three. Little short. Williams with the offensive rebound. Another chance for the Warriors. That shot off the mark from Tommy Steshka. Misses everything, out of bounds, and the Bulldogs take over. Opportunity here to go out in front. Here with a bucket. Got to get it over midcourt. Merrick Johnson does. They double team him over to Caraway. Caraway pump fake. Now gets the dribble started with the left. No, but the ball picked up by Lamar Brockington, and Brockington goes right up with the shot, banks it home, and the Bulldogs are in front 38-37.
First lead of the night for the Bulldogs here.
Great to have you with us tonight. Khalil Cottrell gets the whistle and will get to the line. Almost got the finish there on that drive. And Lamar Brockington can't believe that they picked up the foul. But you get to the line, you got to hit them. Talking about how important those trips to the line were for the Bulldogs to get them back into this game. Well, the Warriors can't afford to miss those opportunities either. They're trailing here 38-37. High pass pulled down by Alex Brown, extends with the right hand and banks it in. Alex Brown makes it a 3-point Morrisville lead. Khalil Cottrell into Uriah Johnson, has it in the corner, starts to dribble. Williams pump fake, free throw line, jump shot no, but Manning keeps it alive. Another chance for Bristol. And they flip it around the perimeter. Holding is Williams. Marked by Merrick Johnson. Flips it over to Cottrell. Down to 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Here at Morrisville High School, kick out, 3-ball. Khalil Cottrell knocks down the shot from distance. And we're even at 40.
Good ball movement there to try to find the open man.
Oh, Dismukes with the crossover, the drive and finish. And the Bulldogs are back in front. It's 42-40, and timeout taken by the Warriors. A 30-second timeout with 1:40 remaining in the third quarter.
Man, oh man, what a move there by Dismukes. Putting on the handles there, really showing out, and getting to the lane and getting to the hole for 2.
Absolutely, and doing damage off the bench tonight for the Bulldogs. Big thanks to Finney McGee's Pub. Don't forget you missed the action on BCB. Read about it in tomorrow's Trentonian. Hey, after the holidays, Santa going to be thinking of vacationing someplace warm. If you own a pool, time to start thinking about getting it ready for the warm weather. Mason Pool Services, they offer full service maintenance for your pool, in ground or above ground. Mason Pool Services, they offer weekly, bi-weekly or monthly maintenance. Call 215-802-8285, 215-802-8285. Don't be left out in the cold this summer. Let Mason Pool Services take care of your pool, and happy holidays from Mason Pool Services. Happy holidays from all of us at WBCB. Little pre-holiday high school hoops. Got a doubleheader with action on the other side of the Delaware as well. We get down to 1:30 to go, third quarter. They bounce it to Manning. Kick out there, 3 on the way. Johnson can't connect. And a nice rebound there by Moy Oakman. Baseline drive. Alex Brown puts on the brakes. His shot rejected by Manning. Here comes Cottrell weaving through traffic, lost it. Moy Oakman picks up the loose ball, up the floor to Dismukes, catch and shoot, too much there. And Johnson with the backside rebound, slows it down and flips to Cottrell. Manning with space. Nice job to recognize. Cottrell saw that there wasn't a defender near him, so get him the basketball and get him to work, and work results in another trip to the line. That gives him 20 tonight. Leads all scorers. An opportunity to tie this thing up. Money. 42 apiece. Merrick Johnson nearly lost it. Pressure for the Warriors. They got to get it over midcourt. Knocked away, and Merrick Johnson gets it. His pocket picked by Khalil Cottrell. Cottrell has Caraway all over him. Kick out, and now Cottrell holds again up top. Nice job finding Christian Manning inside. Alex Brown was there defensively. Losing his footing is Caraway. Cottrell up and under. And offensive foul. Picked up there by Khalil Cottrell. Yeah, Coach Jen Corelli doesn't like that call. I'm not sure. I saw it the same way the officials did there either. Alex Brown bangs into Williams, and Williams picks up a foul. Oh man, don't go anywhere tonight. Fourth quarter coming up, all even at 42. It's been times tonight where it looks like the Bristol Warriors set to pull away, but the Bulldogs having none of it. Not only coming back in this game, but actually had a lead. They were up 3 a moment ago. Nice find underneath by Moy Oakman. No, but the cleanup there by Brown. He can't hit. And we reach the end of quarter number 3, 42-42. Great to have you with us tonight on the WBCB Sports Network. Back for more high school hoops in just a moment.
Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Well, after 3 quarters, we got to start this thing all over again because we're even up. 42 apiece. High school hoops on WBCB. And big thanks to the Trentonian. Read about tonight's game in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. Also thanks to the Morrisville Basketball Parents Club. All of our community support helping to power tonight's game here on BCB. Chris Ermer, Gus Barber, Makai Gundy with you, as the Bulldogs will have it first to get going in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, 8 minutes left, 0-0 game. Let's see who's able to take it. What do they say? We're coming in for a landing.
Yeah, look out. And hopefully we'll have an exciting finish, as we've had an exciting 3 quarters so far. Isaiah Caraway with the dribble up top for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs here with a deliberate first possession. Caraway working the baseline, flips out to Brown. Brown with a step back jumper, high arcing shot that is good.
Awkward footed on that one. Did not have a lot on when it comes to the footing, but he had every arch in that shot to be able to get it in.
Yeah, no footing, but he had the touch on that one, Makai. And the Bulldogs strike first in the fourth quarter. Now here, Warriors also had a deliberate feel, try to get it to Manning. It's tipped away, but then stolen right back by the Warriors. Cottrell looking inside, and Uriah Johnson unable to get the finish, and it's last off of Bristol.
I thought it went off Morrisville.
Officials will bounce to Merrick Johnson. We got about a minute gone in the fourth quarter. Talon Nemeth with the deflection. Williams throws it back to Nemeth, who holds up top. Hesitation, shovels to Johnson. Khalil Cottrell to Johnson. Works the baseline, works against, that's a drive and a trip to the line. Defending there was Merrick Johnson. So opportunity to tie us up for the 6-foot junior. Makes it a 1-point game. Off the front rim, no. Isaiah Caraway has it momentarily taken away by Nemeth in the paint. Shot no good from Johnson. And here's Alex Brown. Picks it up over to Caraway. Caraway almost lost it. Brown nearly mishandled it. Bulldogs now trapped in the corner, and they finally get it up top to Isaiah Caraway. Isaiah Caraway, hesitation drive. High off the glass, it's good.
That touched the highest point of that backboard.
Wow. Extremely high off the glass. Bulldogs by 3. Up top, Nemeth from downtown. No good. And Isaiah Caraway races it up the floor. Takes it right towards Christian Manning and then flips it over to Morgan. And Morgan, is he tied up? Yes. It is a held ball, and the Warriors have the arrow, so they take over. 5:54 to go, fourth quarter.
Man, with the way these shots are falling for this Morrisville team, you're going to need these shots to fall to win this game right here, with it being such a close game.
Khalil Cottrell sees a little bit of a hesitation or a relaxation in the defense. He puts on the Jets. Bank shot is good and one. And Cottrell now can tie this thing up. He does. 46 apiece. Both of these teams, a lot to look forward to this high school basketball season. Nice entry into Josiah Morgan. Can't get the finish. Alex Brown fights for the loose ball. His shot no good, and Christian Manning finally controls for Bristol. Cottrell, crossover, drive, scoop shot, no. Morgan, there bounces, and Brockington brings it up the floor, trying to throw it back to Morgan. It's stolen by Bristol. Williams, a little hesitation there, drops it off to Manning, and Manning, and one, gets the bucket, and will step to the line, try to put the Warriors up by 3. Manning has had a lot of chances at the free throw line, and he's been very good, very strong from the line. They're a reach-in foul, though, and Manning picks up the foul on Dismukes.
Yeah, that one I felt like was an unnecessary foul right there.
Dismukes, that we've seen his quickness, gets around one defender and has made some big plays. Here's Dismukes along the baseline, working against Nemeth. Shot no good. Alex Brown fighting for that one. And his putback, not good, but gets the whistle and a trip to the line. Alex Brown, to me, playing bigger than his 6 foot, as he's making a big difference in the paint tonight. Cuts the Warrior lead to 2. Gets 1 of 2 at the line. Rebound, Cottrell up to Johnson. Bounces to Williams. Williams pump fake, pass up top, stolen by Dismukes. And Dismukes off glass with the left hand. We're tied up again. Shakir Dismukes with a big-time second half. Khalil Cottrell on the drive, no finish, batted around, kicked, deflected to Johnson. His 3 no good. Christian Manning offensive rebound, and Morgan whistled for the foul, and can't believe that he's sending Manning to the line. But same kind of thing, his arm kind of comes down. And sometimes even if you make contact with the ball, you don't foul the guy. If you make that motion.
And it's going to happen when you're trying to deflect the ball over somebody that's taller than you. You're just going to eventually hit them.
So not quite midway through the 4th quarter. Back in for the Bulldogs is Merrick Johnson. As Morgan sits down with a little foul trouble. Christian Manning has been all that and then some tonight. Goes 2 for 2 at the line to make it a 51-49 game. Merrick Johnson lost the handle, goes into the air, into the paint, and then from behind, he pokes it away, and draws a foul. Khalil Cottrell called for the foul on Merrick Johnson. That was a great job to kind of get back into that play. He knew he had mishandled the basketball and caused the turnover, and he went right after Cottrell and kind of tracked him down from behind. And as Cottrell fended him off contact, Bulldogs send it in to Dismukes. Into the corner. Too much there from Brockington. And Bristol with a 2-point lead, bring it up the floor, into the corner. Nemeth, nice closeout defense there. I'm not sure if Brockington got a piece of that one.
I was just about to say, I don't know if that was tipped or not.
He definitely altered that shot. There's Merrick Johnson, picked it up and kind of held it for a moment, and he palmed the basketball. And the Bulldogs turn it over to Bristol. So all even after the third quarter came to an end. And now still feels like this one gonna come right down to the wire. Cottrell over midcourt to Manning. And Christian Manning with a slam dunk and takes contact for a possible three-point play. And number 15 has taken over. And you know, the old hack-a-shack does not apply tonight. Doesn't quite get the bounce, but Cottrell is there. Offensive rebound. His putback a little too strong. Caraway races it up the floor. Got knocked off balance. Picks it up. Jump shot, yes. Well, when the Bulldogs have needed a big bucket, a big play to stay in this game, they've gotten those contributions all night tonight from guys like Isaiah Caraway. It's great work inside from Alex Brown. And of course, Shakur Dismukes with a big second half off the bench. A timeout on the floor, 3:09 to go. And tonight's game brought to you by East Coast Printing 215, your go-to source, custom apparel and printing in the 215 area and beyond. East Coast Printing 215, they bring your ideas to life. Custom screen printing, direct-to-film printing, embroidery, custom orders from t-shirts, hoodies, hats, bags, and more. If you can imagine it, East Coast Printing 215 will bring it to life. Whether you're outfitting a team, promoting your brand, looking for something special for the holidays or the new year, East Coast Printing 215 in the Morrisville Shopping Center, your go-to source for top quality work, very quick turnaround. East Coast Printing 215 in the Morrisville Shopping Center, open Monday through Friday 10 to 8 and Saturdays open till 3. Well, it's a great time of year, high school hoops season, and so happy to have you with us tonight on WBCB. Big time thanks to all of our supporters, all the community, small businesses that come together to make high school athletics possible here on BCB. And from all of us to your family this holiday season, hope you have a special time of year and all the best in 2026. That's the other thing, unbelievable. It's going to be a new year before you know it. Bristol bouncing it into Cottrell as we're down to 3 minutes remaining. Long pass up the floor to Johnson. Uriah Johnson sees a path to the bucket, takes the opportunity, lays it in to make it 55-41. Pass there nearly too tall for Brown. Brown there trying to pass it back to Caraway, and it's stolen by Cottrell. Bristol with the defense. Cottrell crossover, tries to stick that shot in there. Alex Brown, as he brings it up the floor, loses it, tipped away, and finally picked up by Brockington. And then Brockington takes contact, hits the floor, picks up a foul, or draws a foul. So with 2:28 to go, the Bulldogs will inbound from under the bucket. Pass there from Merrick Johnson, tipped by Cottrell. Cottrell over to Braylon Williams. Bristol out to Williams on the wing. Back to Cottrell. Time running down as we hit the 2-minute mark. Williams nearly loses it, holds on, turns, elbow jumper, no, and Dismukes with the board. Quickly up the floor, but throws it away. Looking for Brockington. And now on the floor, Williams picks it up, and a quick timeout taken by the Bristol Warriors. Good job there, recognized there. Slow it down, maintain possession. 1:43 to go in the fourth quarter. Oh man, back and forth tonight. Mentioned earlier that Morrisville has not been able to, I was looking back at the matchup over the years. It's been a while since the Bulldogs have beaten Bristol. They got a win back on January 3rd of 2020. And a golden opportunity here tonight in the third quarter and early in the fourth quarter. But right now, things, they need to do something here with this next possession. Feels like Bristol has raised up the intensity on the defensive end, and the Bulldogs need to respond with a good offensive possession. It seems like it's been a while since they've been able to really get set and get a good look.
Yeah, Bristol, they've really been pressuring Morrisville, full court pressuring them every time they inbound this pass, and it's really given Morrisville a little bit of problems here advancing the ball and just keeping the possession as they keep turning this thing over to Bristol, and it's what led Bristol to get this 4-point lead right now.
Yeah, it's led to some wild passes up the floor, Mackay, and you need to make sure you, as we said from Coach Mason, they need to keep their cool, keep their composure, and they can, keep their chance alive here in this game.
Yeah, with these passes, they're not really thinking, they're just reacting just based on how fast the game is right now.
Into Manning, who hands off to Cottrell. Entry pass to Manning, tipped away momentarily. Braylon Williams pump fake out on the wing, and now Brockington comes out to close out on him. Down to 1:30 remaining. Bounce pass inside. Manning, shot blocked, up the floor to Brockington. Brockington going up against Williams. Impossible angle shot right there, and it's pulled down by Johnson. I think you need to wait for your teammates on that one and try to set up a possession as we're now down to the minute mark.
Yeah, now with time not being on your side not right now, you definitely want to make sure you get a good shot.
Cottrell nearly lost it out of bounds, holds on to it, gives it over to Nemeth, and another timely timeout taken by the Warriors. They saw again their guy had it on the floor, but there was chaos around, and so they will calm things down with 52 seconds remaining. They'll talk it over. Yeah, great back and forth game. Don't forget you missed the action here on BCB. Read about it in tomorrow's Trentonian. And I guess if you are thinking about all the cold weather out there, this might be the time to think about Mason Pool Services. We look forward to the warm weather, and after the holidays, if you own a pool, start thinking about getting it ready for the warm weather. Mason Pool Services, full service maintenance for your pool, in-ground or above-ground. Mason Pool Services, offering weekly, bi-weekly, monthly maintenance. Call 215-802-8285. That's 215-802-8285. Don't be left out in the cold. Let Mason Pool Services take care of your pool. And happy holidays from Mason Pool Services. Portions of tonight's game also made possible by Finney McGee's Pub, the friendliest place in Bristol. And yeah, as we said earlier, coming in for a landing. Cottrell putting it in play up top there to Manning. Manning drops it to Williams. Williams pass deflected, taken away. And up the floor, they get it to Moy Oakman. Bristol fans thought there was a double dribble, but officials were right there to say, nah, it was just a deflection. And so now with 43 seconds, this is what the Bulldogs want. With the time stopped, an opportunity to narrow the gap. Moy Oakman with his first points since the first quarter tonight. Cuts it to 3 and makes it a 2-point game. Khalil Cottrell in no hurry, but he's got to get over midcourt before he runs out of time. Races it over. Alex Brown all over him. Pokes it away, pokes it loose, and they say a foul. And they're going to give this to Khalil Cottrell. And so, oh no, 2 shots for Cottrell, excuse me. Big time connection makes it a 3-point game. And this one can make it a 2-possession affair. No. And Dismukes secures underneath. 20 seconds remaining. Dismukes double team, nearly loses it. Picks it up now, it is loose on the floor. With it there is Braylon Williams, and he's gonna get tied up. And then as he comes onto his feet, he knocks Dismukes to the hardwood. And the Bulldogs, fortunate here, they got the tie up and they have the arrow. So Bulldogs with the basketball. And with 12.5 seconds remaining, Coach Skip Mason says, let's talk it over. And let's get our best look.
Yeah, because you're going to need a 3 here to tie it. You could try to go for a quick 2 and maybe try to turn over or a 2 and foul, but with this much time left, you have to think they're going to go for a 3-point shot here. And the way Bristol's been playing defense, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, even if you have an opportunity to maybe try a quick score, Mackay, you got to watch out for Christian Manning in there to potentially be he's a pretty darn good rim defender.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, good rim defender and a good rebounder. I don't lost track of how many rebounds he has today, but I'm sure he has a double-double in this one. He's just feasting out there. So whether or not you go for a quick 3 or, even a quick 2, you definitely got to be on your toes with this Bristol team and what they might be able to do.
Yeah, I'm kind of tempted to go with like the thinking where if you get an opportunity to drive to the bucket, you might be able to score quickly, potentially get a foul. If you can connect, opportunity maybe for a 3-point play. But, Gus, I think you're right. Trying to get a shooter a good look from distance is probably the more conventional thinking here with 12.5 remaining.
Yeah, you got to think you're probably going to see a lot of off-ball screens, probably a couple double screens to try to get one man open, whoever they like, probably Dismukes to get an open 3-way shot, or Caraway.
Caraway here to inbound, bounces it in. Now Dismukes will let it go from 3. Off the mark, no. Ball batted around, rebounded by Christian Manning, and Manning will hold momentarily until Bulldogs are forced to foul. And they'll send the Warriors the length of the floor now that they're in the bonus. And with 3.2 remaining here for Manning, really it's a matter of just hitting one of these shots to make it a 4-point game. If not, 3.2, that's enough to move the ball up the floor and maybe get a shot right towards the buzzer. Meanwhile, timeout now taken. Morrisville trying to ice the shooter.
Little ice the kicker, ice the shooter. It's worked in the past.
Give Christian Manning a little something more to think about, but looked like he was.
He's confident. He looks locked in.
He felt totally. He looked totally locked in there.
He was saying some things that we cannot repeat.
Tonight's game brought to you by East Coast Printing 215. Thanks also to Finney McGee's, to Mason Pool Services. Well, right now, feels like the Bulldogs need a miracle. And for Christian Manning, he's trying to make sure the Warriors have all the Christmas magic tonight. He has delivered some gifts, the big man inside, leading all scorers, and here with an opportunity to put this one away.
He misses the first. Drama.
Makes it 57-53. Dismukes at the buzzer with a long shot that's off the mark, and the Warriors survive. They get a 57-53 win. They drop the Bulldogs to 2-3 overall this season, and they improve their record to 5-1. And Mackay, as we were talking about in our Trentonian pregame activities, they get that 5th straight win. And boy, the Bulldogs, they didn't make anything easy tonight.
They sure did not. They left everything out there on the court. You couldn't really ask for more, except, maybe a few more foul calls. But at the same time, you could say we should have made more free throws down at the other end. So,
yeah, maybe a few more foul calls, but there's a lot of things they can look at in this game to say, missed opportunity here, a missed chance there. And at one point late in this game, Bulldogs had a 3-point lead in it, but there you got to credit Bristol with their fortitude and how they hung in there. All right, our player of the game is Christian Manning, and we'll see if we can get an opportunity to speak with him. But we're going to step aside right now. We'll come back to wrap this one up here from Morrisville. Bristol getting a 57-53 win. High school basketball on the WBCB Sports Network.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. .org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
All right, I want to try to get a quick word with our player of the game before he hits the locker room. Big thanks to all of our sponsors, the Revere Restaurant, St. Mary Medical Center, BCWSA, East Coast Printing 215, Finney McGee's Pub, the Trentonian, and the Morrisville Basketball Parents Club. Thanks to Mackay Gundy, our cameraman, helping to call the action. Gus Barber, our video engineer, helping to break down a great game between the Bristol Warriors and the Morrisville Bulldogs. Rivalry action here tonight. Went back and forth, was even at 42 after 3 quarters. But Bristol just a little bit better. And the difference maker tonight, their 6'8" senior Christian Manning. Just an outstanding job tonight from him and his teammates, getting the job done here against a very pesky and relentless Morrisville Bulldog squad. All right, thanks to the crew, Mackay Gundy. Thanks to Gus and everybody out there checking out some high school hoops. You can see our player of the game interview later tonight on WBCB Sports Network on YouTube. One final time, it was the Bristol Warriors 57, the Morrisville Bulldogs 50.